What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and I wanted to give an update on the Instagram story ads that I'm running. So, to give you a little bit of context, I started running Facebook ads. Learned about them. I don't know, maybe a decade ago when I was in grad school. Well, it wasn't a decade ago. It was 2010, so 9 years ago, roughly. And about like running different sets for it was in a marketing class I was taking and running two different data sets or two different ads next to each other for A/B testing. I was like, wow, that's a fucking awesome shit to be able to do that, right? Because I was in my getting an MBA and things that seem super practical are interesting to me. So this I started maybe about a month ago, and before this, I'd run maybe two or three ads. Literally just dropping money down the drain because I didn't have any idea what the fuck I was doing or any commitment to it. So I'm not trying to achieve anything in terms of sales, but what I'm trying to do is learn how to run an effective Facebook. So you use Facebook Ads Manager to run Instagram story ads. And so I think this is maybe the 10th one or something. I can actually probably go over here. I think I deleted some to get them out of my queue. And just see what the results are. So let me get over here. I put in, I think I deleted them. Yeah, don't think I deleted. I don't think I have any more of them. But so I tried maybe 5 or 6 different types of pictures, 7 pictures, and then so this has been over the past like month and a half, and then I put up a video, and the video started converting. So I put up a video, and I was getting I got the reach of 631 and 18 clicks. So it came out to be a cost of 65 cents per click. And I was just driving people back to my Instagram. And then that was just a video. There's nothing on it. I think I changed, there was a tiny bit of targeting, just like physical fitness or something, and like 1 or 2 other categories. And in the second one, same video, I took women out of the demographics, and then I tested both of them together. So I took women out, and I also did a little bit more in the targeting, so I added a couple more categories. And the cost, it was 22 clicks and 700 reach, and the cost for that was 62 cents, so a little bit cheaper. And then I started running another one. I added even more targeting, and I added a swipe up, and I think there was maybe one other change on there. I think there's a way to check history on here, but I'm not exactly sure how to do that. Let me see if I can pull this out, and it should tell me some of the things that I've done. Okay, so created the ads. I'll have to look at this a different time. I'm not trying to make a video. So then I changed a couple more things. This is ad number 2. That went down to 35 cents per click. So that's 26 clicks with a reach of 524 for a total cost cost per click of 35 cents. So this is me, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Now, it would be also interesting to see if I had like a landing page, what would actually convert, right? So if I was so the total clicks have been 67, right? So if I had 67 clicks, the total cost on that is $37. Yes, I'm just paying this out of my pocket. I have YouTube and Amazon and a referral thing, and then I trade options, and I think one other thing that just. And these are all, most of this came about in March. I started about 4 months ago. You can check out the channel if you want to. By the way, make sure you subscribe. I make lots of videos on the journey of getting to $100 a day online and creating an online sources of income. So that money that I make online, and I've also got a couple free products too, which is fucking awesome. That income I'm using to put into advertising to understand how advertising works. At some point down the road, I might decide I want to sell something. Plus, I just think it's interesting. So, out of the 67 people, right, like if I sold them if one of those people bought something and I made $40, right, then I made money because I spent 37, and I had one person buy something and I made $3 or $2.88. So, excuse me, I think it might be higher than that, but I'm not really trying to sell. I'm not selling anything. So then I decided to do one where I decided to leave one to the one that's performing at 35 cents per click. Leave that running towards my Instagram and try doing another one to YouTube. So the one for YouTube, I changed the tag on the video at the like call to right above so it says swipe up now or learn more or something, and right above that it says something along like this is not an ad or something, and then I changed it to swipe up to watch the full video for a posing video that I was doing for men's physique, classic physique type of bodybuilding posing, and interestingly. So I also added a shitload more targeting, but it was all like fitness related bodybuilding type things. So a lot more detailed targeting in terms of like the interests, like psychographic or whatever. I'm not sure what the correct terminology would be, but the targeting on that, and that was as of Sunday. So today's the 27th, Wednesday. So we were in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and today's Wednesday at 8:30 at night. And it's had one click and a reach of 235. So its total cost is $2.81 for that one click. So it's not performing very well. So I decided to stop that one, and I created another one. I changed the tagline back to "This is not an ad," and I wrote a little bit more about like how I think this is a much more effective way to spend money than it is on college. Right? Like this is something that's valuable where college is valuable too, but I think the ROI, depending on what game you want to play in, I think the ROI of taking action for yourself versus going to college, I don't know, I think it's much higher an ROI just doing something right. Like think about this for a quick second, right? On a tangent, right? Tangent. Yeah, I did just really do that. Say, just hypothetically, you were going to spend $25,000 a year for 4 years on school, right? So, and then maybe you get a job and you make $35,000 or $45,000 a year, right? Or, say, you will get a job, just enough to support yourself, right? So now you're not borrowing money from like the education system, and it's part time, so you can't do a lot. Like you don't have much money, you just have enough to like pay your parents or whatever it is, and or just pay rent if you're not with your parents or whatever the case is, and buy food, and then the other time you spend 20 hours there, and then you spend 20 hours working on creating something online. At the end of 4 years, you'll probably have a source of income that is generating more than $45,000, if that's what your objective is, that is generating more in terms of passive income than you would if you went and just got a job. Excuse me. So most of the time you'll get that job and it'll be $40,000, $45,000, $50,000. And that job will want you to work 45, 50 hours a week. Right? Versus like you can do whatever you want online. It's like the Wild West almost. Anyway, so I created another one. I changed the call to action back to what I just mentioned, and then I changed the color behind the video from black on the top and red on the bottom to red on the top, a brighter colored red and lime green on the bottom, just to see how it would convert. So I changed the tagline and that, and I just submitted that. So we will see how that is performing. I want to see if I can beat that 35 cents a click. Also, why did I switch it to YouTube from Instagram? because I feel like the long tail, I think I did a little thing on here. The long tail on YouTube is much bigger than the tail on Instagram. And I want to show you what I mean by that. If you look at this picture, right? Hi. This would be maybe more like a normal distribution curve. This is one that has a lot more data in the tails. That's this area and this area. And what I mean by that is on YouTube, first of all, let's look at Instagram actually. On Instagram, they click through and then maybe look at a couple of my pictures, and maybe they see me in their explore page down the road, but I feel like Instagram doesn't do that from ads. Or maybe they do, I'm not sure. Maybe they do. We'll just give them credit and say that they do. Look at my shit. So if somebody clicks on an ad, goes to the profile, they could follow me, they could look at my profile, and then they might see me again in the explore page. But Instagram might not. And the same thing. So now on YouTube, if you go to click through and watch a video on YouTube, there's the potential, first of all, that somebody could watch an ad initially when they get to YouTube, right? So there's that. They watch the content, and then there's a spot to, at the beginning of the video, right? You can click on one of the links, right, that pops up here or up here in the white little bar that comes across, which a certain percentage do. They could watch to the end of the video. A certain percentage will. And then they could click on one of the icons or the subscribe button. They could click on the subscribe button at any point during the video too. And they could click on any one of the links in the description, either going to Amazon, an affiliate, or back into Instagram, right? Excuse me. Which any one of those could potentially be good, or go over to Facebook, or go in any other platform. Or they could now also when they're done, right? So there's just a lot more possibility there, I feel like. But then also when they're done, I feel like I've seen this a few times. If somebody watches a little bit of an ad and then they go through their news feed on YouTube, they're more likely to see that person come up in their news feed again just because they watched one of their videos. Even if it is an ad, I just feel that YouTube surfaces more of that content. I don't know how... Because when you think about it just logically, right, on Instagram knows that it's just an ad, so maybe they don't surface it as much in the Explorer because they know it was an ad, where if somebody clicks on a link and brings them through to YouTube doesn't know that, so they think somebody's actually clicking on your content and interested in it, so then it shows up in the news feed. So I feel like you get a bonus right there, plus of all those other possibilities. And that's why I'm sending it to YouTube. Plus, on YouTube, there's a lot more detailed analytics, at least that I'm more familiar with analyzing than there is on Instagram. So those are some of the reasons why I'm switching it over there. And we'll see how this next ad set performs. Maybe we'll take a good look at it again on Saturday. Another thing that I wanted to quickly go over is... Let's take a look at this. I'm just going to pull up the actual performance of that 35-cent one so you get to see. If you look at the demographics on this, so it's only getting served to men 18 to 65 plus, but the group that is 25 to 35, see, 18 to 24, I've gotten 0 clicks on this one out of the 500 reach, which is not necessarily a large data set to pull from, right? It's got 26 clicks, which I think maybe at 1,000 or a couple thousand, I could draw better conclusions. But 18 to 24 has had 0 clicks. 24 to 34, 25 to 34, I've had 8 clicks for a cost of 24 cents. 34 to 44, I've only had 1 click, and it was $1.15 for that click, so that was kind of interesting. 45 to 54, 5 clicks for a cost of 37 cents per click, The super interesting part we're just about to get into, 55 to 64, 27 cents per click, and 65 plus, 36 cents per click. So I'm going to continue building data on this one that's going for 35 cents. And then what I might end up doing is taking out the age group of men between 24 and 18, as well as the age group of 35 to 44, and see. Also, to be even more specific, what I'm thinking about potentially doing is splitting it up even further and doing the doing one for, say, each 10-year one, you know what I mean? Or maybe change it up, the actual a language used at the bottom of the video for like the group that is 65 plus, 55 to 64, 45 to 55 basically, and 25 to 35, so that I can tell a different story to each one of those, because you would assume that something that applies to a 30-year-old person versus a 70-year-old person are going to be different. So you'd probably get different click-throughs if you made it contextual to that. I don't plan on probably working towards that over the next several months, because I'm not making a ton, I'm not selling anything, so it's just basically from ad revenue on YouTube and some of these other miscellaneous things. So I will continue testing it, and as I continue to grow YouTube and whatnot, I will continue to put that money back into here to understand how I can get these conversions up and continue to decrease the cost of this. Appreciate you guys. If you have any questions about any of this, don't forget to leave them down below in the comments. Also, subscribe to see how this plays out in the future. Also, if you want to see the earnings update videos, I generally will do those weekly on the progress of how much I'm generating online. The objective is to get to $100 a day by the end of March 2020. So it is. I started about 5 months ago, so we will see if I can make it. So stay tuned for that. I'm constantly doing updates. I appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.